Hello, friends. Happy New Year. It is Jillian Leslie. I'm adjusting here. I am founder of Milo Tray, which is the pop-up app that grows your social media followers, your email list. I am founder of a website called Catch My Party. We're the largest party ideas site on the web, and I am host of the Blogger Genius podcast. And this is my first Facebook Live of 2021. And I don't know about you, but as soon as it turned 2021, I felt like I could exhale. Now, in reality, our numbers here in Austin aren't good, but I do feel like I can see an end in sight, and that just gives me a little bit more hope and energy to really start digging back in after taking a break for the holidays. So I just want to make sure, I think I'm doing this correctly. Okay, because I'm using StreamYard. Anyway, I wanted today to talk about how you can really monetize a niche blog. And what I did for my last podcast episode was I rebroadcasted one of my most popular from 2020, and it is where I interviewed Cassidy Tuttle from the blog Succulents and Sunshine. And do you know what her niche is? It is all about succulents, the end. And she has been able to grow a really big business off of being in a very specific niche. So she isn't just like a plant blogger or anything like that. She is literally only succulents. But by being so specific, she's been able to really understand her audience and what they're struggling with and what they want to learn from her. And then she's been able to solve those problems, provide those solutions, and monetize them. And this is the value of niching down. I talk about this all the time, and I do get a lot of pushback. We do coaching, and a lot of times I'll say, is there a way to narrow down your niche? And I can feel this resistance, like, yeah, but I like all of these different areas, and this is what my audience expects from me. And I always say, figure out which of these areas your audience is most engaged with you on and go that way. And then over time, you can broaden, but to start by really owning your niche. It should be something that you're an expert in so that you can really be an authority in that space. And so one thing that I love is when you know your audience, you know what they're struggling with, and then you can relate to them and you can get on a call with them, or you can connect with them in person. I mean like on a Zoom call or whatever, and you can hear their own language where they are telling you about their issues or their problems or what they want solutions for. And then you can mirror that back to them. And I think there's something incredibly powerful about that. So I just this morning, before I got on this Facebook Live, I recorded a podcast episode with a woman named Nikki Roush. And she has a business called Sales Maven, and she teaches people how to sell. And what we talked about is related to what I'm talking about being in a niche. Of the people that we coach, and also for ourselves in our own businesses, the ones that are the most successful, the ones that are seeing growth that's really significant, are the ones that sell something. It could be a product, like a physical product. It could be a digital product. It could be coaching. It could be a membership. It could be courses. Who knows? But they've really looked at their, I don't like, even though I have a podcast called The Blogger Genius and we work with bloggers, I don't like the term blogger because I feel like it's limiting. I like to call bloggers online entrepreneurs who have a blog. So the blog is a very important part of their business, and your blog or your website is like your hub, and everything else comes off of this hub. But you're a problem solver, and you're a digital marketer, you are a content marketer, not a content creator. It doesn't stop at content creating. It's content marketing, meaning I create content to sell things to my audience. So I just want you to think about that. And again, these are uncomfortable things to face. And I talk about this. My podcast with Nikki will go live probably in about 6 weeks. And we talk about how it's different when you're a blogger and you put content out there, and there's like a weird gap between your content and you and your audience. Like you're not super up close to them, but I believe it's by getting super up close that you are able to really explode your business. And therefore, this is why I say it's about creating content, but the content's purpose is to sell to your audience. And what's uncomfortable about that is people might not buy from you, and it feels potentially like rejection rather than, oh, this is just an offering and it's not, right for them at this moment. And so we talk a lot about that. And I thought that was really interesting. And I say for 2021, the goal is sales. The goal is really selling. And once you can start to sell, then you can start to build off of that. So you can say, well, I'm going to sell this ebook. And if it does well, I can create another one like it and build off of it. And if it doesn't do well, I can figure out something else and test something else. And we talk about the value of testing. And I always say, test quickly, test cheaply, and test often. Because even when you think something's going to work, the times where I have felt like something is definitely going to work, most of the time I'll say I'm right in terms of my instincts, but sometimes I am so wrong. And it's humbling, but it's accurate, it's good. And so that's why I always talk about this idea of you want to put stuff out there that's a little rough. This is where B- work comes in, so that you can get it in front of people and get their feedback. Their feedback is so valuable for you building businesses. Just like Cassidy in this podcast episode, and I'm going to put a link to the podcast so that you can listen and see that niching down is actually really powerful. And if you don't believe me, definitely listen to this podcast episode, because I think you will see that when you're smaller, it's a little bit like reducing the number of crayons in your Crayola box, so that it isn't like you have so much going on, but you get to really dig and go deeper. And that's what your audience wants from you, that you're the person who's known for whatever it is, rather than you're just like kind of all over the place. I think that it's harder to build relationships that way, because the truth is somebody has a problem and you have a solution, and that's the relationship. So all of a sudden, if you've got all these different audiences and all these different solutions, it's really hard to focus. And I think that 2021 is all about focus. So I just want to give you these thoughts so that you can take them into your own business and you can go, ooh, how can I niche down? How can I come up with possible products? How can I create them quickly and cheaply, and then test them and put them out when they're a little bit raw, a little bit rough? Be willing to do that, to see what kind of feedback I can get, to email them to my list, so that hopefully I can start to learn. So 2021, I think, is also the year of learning. I think it's the year of putting ourselves out there on video so that people really get to know us and like us and trust us. And that's how you build a business on the internet. So that is what I really wanted to talk about today. And the other thing is that we're starting our next coaching group on the 12th, which is a week from tomorrow. And if you would like to get on a call with me so I can do a blogger assessment and I can just do a quick checklist with you of where you're doing well and areas that you might need to work on, I would be more than happy to do that. It's like 15, 20 minutes, kind of like a personality test, but you'll get my eyes on your business. You'll get some areas where you might not know, maybe some blind spots. Hopefully I can point out some blind spots. And we can see too, if the group is right for you. But really, it's for you to get an assessment of where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. Think of it like my daughter, who is 13, loves doing personality tests on the internet. I don't know if you do. I'm an Enneagram 6, by the way, in case you're curious. I'm also an INFJ too, because I like personality tests too. Let me know what you are. I'd love to hear it, like in a comment or something. Anyway, so if you want a personality assessment for your blog, go to, and I'm going to put it in a banner. Here we go. milotree.com/meet. We can set up a time. You can pick a time that works for you, and I'll just do a quick assessment of your blog, and you can kind of, again, see where your strengths and weaknesses are. And that might be really interesting, again, or partly because I see so much and I know what is working today, and I can hopefully guide you and point you in the right direction. So that is what, so please go to milotree.com/meet, and we'll do an assessment together. I think it'll be really fun. And if you have any thoughts about this Facebook Live, like, I would love to hear them and how you feel about niching down, or what kinds of products you could sell. I would love, message me and I'll let you know what I think and whether I think that that is definitely worth testing. Chances are I will say, yes, go test it and go figure out how to test it quickly and cheaply, so that you can learn. Because right now, again, 2021, I think is the year of learning. I think it's the year of putting ourselves out there. It is learning. It is taking risks. It's willing to be embarrassed. And it's being of service to our audience. So I hope that you guys had a great holiday, a great new year, and that you're ready to dig in 2021. All right, talk to you later.